Going on, folks? Painless on this good Saturday, still morning, Saturday morning. Uh, you know, sometimes I listen to my videos, and I'll be tripping out on myself. I'll be laughing and stuff about some of the stuff I say. I've never written down videos. I take small notes occasionally when I do a video. But this video is, a lot's been going on. ICE, Trump, people still crying, carrying on. And, like I told y'all folks, because the last video I did, they were still, there's some backroom negotiating in terms of what is going to be in that big, beautiful bill, which passed since the last time we talked. And over $1 trillion in safety net funds or benefits, whatever you call it, is going to be cut over the next 10 years. And I told y'all, that's just what it is. More funding, more defense funding, an increase in defense funding, an increase in especially border funding initiatives, ICE raids coming more strong. Like, I tell people this, and I was telling my mom and daddy this, and certain family members. See, with this Trump stuff, I never bring it up. It's always family that still can't let that shit go, man. It's amazing. Like, you still talking about that? Or every time something happens, it's lip service. And I told my folks, I said, they tried to kill this man. They tried to kill this guy. I'm talking about our president. They tried to unalive him. Not once, but twice. See, a lot of people just know that first one. I think it was in Ohio. But there was another attempt that got foiled. I think he was down in Florida at one of those golf courses. And they found his ass in the bushes and thwarted that. So this is what we know as the general public. But this guy, they tried to unalive our president twice. Do you think Trump is going to he is on a mission. And I said this I'm going to say, see, Trump is from Queens, New York. He's from NYC. And he's dealt with black folks probably all his life. And I say that because, there was a situation in which there was a black woman in the Oval Office. I think I mentioned that in my last video. And he mentioned something to the effect of she was nice looking. I don't know verbatim, but the conversation centered around that. See, this whole idea, Trump, he racist and all that. And, everybody talks shit about other people, especially us as black folks. We talk the most shit about other people. But damn, Lord forbid if somebody talk about us. It's like, we think shit can't happen to us. And I'm going to talk about that later in this video. But yeah, they tried to smoke this guy twice. So he has no chill, as they used to say. Trump has no chill. He's going to be relentless. And what he just going to wear, and he's going to wear these courts down. That's what's going to happen. He's going to wear these courts down. And the courts are just going to be like, F it. But yeah, you know, and I told my folks, I said, that's why he's doing what he's doing. Somebody try to smoke you twice, what you gonna do? Somebody try to unalive you, what would you do? And you know the culprits, and you know the origins of where this comes from. These leftist woke weirdos. Trump knows this. And guess what? He knows that a lot of you black DEI college educated sisters are in cahoots with those types. Because they're the ones that sign off on your hiring, or well, used to be. And they're the ones you've latched on to, LGBT, Black Lives Matter, you know, your little rainbow, you know, coalition. And bunch of y'all are just in those lifestyles anyway, because y'all crave Caucasian y'all y'all crave Caucasian sex and proximity with them. That's what this is about. And Trump knows this. He knows the alliances. Trump ain't dumb. So he sits back and it's so obvious where he went to. In DC, in the DMV area, who's the biggest employer of black people? I'll wait. Some of y'all know. I know. I'm saying the federal government is the biggest employer of black people in the DMV area. Why do you think he went so hard? Because he know that's where y'all at. He know that's where you sisters go. Y'all come up there, your little GS jobs, and, you know, you come up there, your S-class that you paying almost a rack a month for. You're taking your trips and all that, which I'm about to get into, your little cruises. Want to fly to Costa Rica, this, that, and go here, spend money you ain't got. And now, that's been pulled from up underneath you. I've worked for the federal government in a capacity and still do. You know, through contracts and things of that nature. But yeah, it's he went right after the biggest employer, and in general, the federal government does employ a lot of black folks. So he's like, well, shit, y'all talking all this noise. Y'all are, you know, you're not my base, so I can give a damn. Mass cuts, doge, chainsaw. And then DEI. He's targeting. Trump is clapping back. And he's had years to stew and to you know, make his strategy and to stew over to course correct of things that he, wasn't able to do in his first term, course corrected, and he's doing it now. And he has loyalists backing him now, which he didn't have before. Just like that prosecutor, what's her name, Letitia Jane, something like that. She's about to be through. She's about to have Marilyn Cosby status. She talking about, I lost everything. What's her name, Marilyn Cosby? The one that did that Freddie Gray. She came up, what was that, back in 2015? When that, his ass resisting, got his neck broke, and they tried to sue. I forget what happened to that. But yeah, she made famous that. Now she's a felon now. And do you know what? All the shit she got to worry about. She talking about, well, technically I'm a felon now, and then, I'm sorry, I can't be like, Trump with 34 felon, blah, blah, blah. And see, that's exactly the type of shit that is being brought to the forefront, that type of mindset. That's why the big, beautiful bill passed. Because of slick mouth shit like that, women like that, because I've said this before, it doesn't matter if they live in the Jordan Downs or they live in whatever said housing project in any major city in America, or that they have a master's degree from Stanford, they all possess that stench of entitlement, slick mouth, slick talk, always try to be cunning, have the last word, but they're really dying inside. And what social media has done is given other people outside of the so-called black community a glimpse. Well, not necessarily, no more glimpses. It's full. Everybody knows now. Everybody knows about the sistering now. Before, it was brothers that was talking, and we only knew in the so-called black community. And it was hard to express ourselves, who maybe wanted to know why there's so much turmoil amongst black men and black women. But now everybody knows why, and everybody knows where the source comes from, and it ain't black men. Everybody knows. And this is why you have the big, beautiful bill. This is why you have cuts to benefits and stuff like that. The fact that you can get on here, the fact that you can get on social media with your bonnet wearing ass, ashy elbows and kneecaps, and rack up $500 worth of food, bullshit, and gloat about it. Well, you better get it in now. You got women on here, sisters on here, black women on here talking about, well, I don't give a damn. Ain't my tax money. I'm going to get it. Why you worried about it? Blah, blah, blah. And see, that's another demise. Clout. Running your mouth. Talking too much. Like people ain't watching. Like people ain't watching. And Trump said, he said, that's enough of that. Now, I know some of you shines are going to be like, well, because I'm seeing this now. And we've talked about this. Well, technically, whites make up more. Technically, whites receive more benefits as black. Yeah, fool, because there's more whites. Could you imagine if there was equal representation of blacks and whites? I mean, look, I've been going through this shit for decades. And many of y'all have been front and center. We talk about crime. If there was as many black folks as there are white folks, the crime numbers, the SNAP beneficiary benefits numbers will be out the roof. What the fuck are we talking about here? Yeah, there are more white because there's more of them. Duh. Shit, the fuck? But yeah, so there's really no distinguishing. It's rare to distinguish, or it's between a smart Tashika or a low income Tashika, and that's what Marilyn Cosby is. All the shit you've been through, and you have to bring up Trump in his felonies, which are felonious anyway. I mean, we're talking about issues between two private peoples in terms of real estate contracts and things like that. I'm not know the intricacies, but those companies didn't bring Trump to court. It was overzealous, political backed, motivated entities that did that. Of course they go, and those were state charges, if I'm not mistaken. You're a perjurer. You did the same shit that allegedly Trump did. But see, this is one thing about you worrying about, you in the wrong goddamn room, Marilyn Cosby. You in the wrong damn room. You worried about the wrong shit. All the stuff you got to deal with, and you reverted to talking about Trump. Like, you're in the wrong fucking room. you ain't even supposed to be here. Like, what are you, why? But see, we know the origins. And now, thanks to social media, everybody knows the origins. And again, black men aren't the issue. Speaking of traveling, Carnival Cruise. There's talk about, every time I see a gaggle of shines, see, that's too many in one spot for Painless. Real talk. That is too many in one spot for Painless Risen. I can't do it. I cannot. Ain't no way. You know what I was thinking? You know what the irony of that shit is? You got these shines in the middle of the ocean on a boat. Some of y'all know where I'm about to go. Ooh. You got these shines in the middle of the damn ocean on a boat, cutting up, doing the most. When I was watching that, I said, this is why them captors chained they motherfucking ass under the damn hull, in the hull of the ship. Because they knew. They knew. Remember that scene, Amistad? when they were unchained, And they had like a little pygmy little African dancing, doing the ooga booga. And them slaves, they're like, nah, we gotta lock their asses back up. Because they knew. They knew. And Lord, look at here, boy. Centuries later, you got all these shines in the middle of the ocean on a damn boat cutting the you-know-what up. That's the irony of this shit. And I say to that, good job, Carnival. No hip-hop. No hip-hop music. None. You want that shit? Go on that damn Tom Joyner cruises. They got them. But see, you shines are so goddamn broke, you can't even afford them cruises. Now, them cruises is like $10,000. Them Soul Train cruises and Tom Joyner cruises, I think they still got them going on. I heard they're nice. But ain't no way I'll get on no damn boat with all them shines. I don't care if it's $2. No. So good job, Carnival. No marijuana, no drugs. We watching that damn drink minimum. How the hell you have 15 goddamn drinks a day? A day. And you see some of these videos, and see, social media, I don't have only reason I got a TikTok, but my username is like user 2GFZ L5. It's a very generic, and the only reason I have it is to look at this bullshit that you shines do, and to look at content. But yes, the almighty internet is exposing you shines. Your culture sucks. And you're running out of places to go. I said that in the Black Fatigue video. It's appropriate. The term Black Fatigue is warranted. It's fitting. It's exact. People are tired of you. Thanks to social media. This used to be some shit that people be like, oh, no, why you people used to be, oh, no, it couldn't be that bad. They'd be like, hey, man, shit. But now, everybody knows. Everybody knows. It's just like, these shine, y'all can't stand for functioning proper shit to just go smooth. You gotta come and F it up. You can't go nowhere. Everything y'all like, y'all like the Blob. The Blob is like an old sci-fi shit. Everything the Blob touched, it destroyed. It consumed. That's why y'all are blobs. You shot. And then you want to holler racism. No. See, the thing about that is when those rules are instituted, Carnival has instituted those rules effective immediately. They didn't mention no race. No race. Now, one could say, well, they're talking about hip hop. I know a lot of people that ain't black that listen to hip hop. But see, hit dogs would do what? Holler. See, black folks, sometimes, y'all know what y'all doing. But like children, it's like when you doing something you ain't got no business doing, and you look over and you see a serious adult, and they eyes is looking through your soul, you straighten up for a little bit till you get past that person, out of that person's area. And that's what black folk, when they say, "Oh, this is racist," I'm boycotting Carnival. Like, who gives a shit? One monkey, you think Carnival gives a fuck that you shines are going to boycott them? In fact, I would go so far to say is that may increase sales. They'll be like, "Oh shoot, these niggas ain't on here. Oh, good, great, yes, baby, sign us up, yes." And see, that's part of that narcissistic, it's all about me. Nothing happens without me, that a lot of shines have. Just like that Target shit. I remember my auntie said, well, boy, I'm like, okay. So the fuck what? Target will be fine without you Negroes. And it has. That bullshit poverty pimp Jamal Bryant with his old South mouth ass talking on, "Oh, we're going to Target and we should spend." Nigga, they are good without you. Good riddance. Like I said, Carnival's like, great, okay. Tell me some shit I don't know. Okay. Good. I may go on Carnival. Now I know you shines are canceling and not going. Great. Everywhere you go, and you know what? Ooh, Lord, that boy. It made me think, when you see shit like this, when you see stuff like this, man, it makes you wonder. White folks they knew. They knew. They knew they had to limit y'all's movement, you shine's movement. They knew that too much of this fire water, aka alcohol, y'all can't have it because you can't handle it. It's that jungle gene in y'all. And that's what there is literature out there. I've seen it's been years to where, certain groups, like you can't give them alcohol, like Indians, like you can't get Polynesians, them Hawaiians and Samoa, you can't give them too much alcohol because they just go off the rail. And I've seen it. You ever seen some big drunk Samoans fight? It's a sight to see. You be like, God damn. Oof, oof, crack. I mean, damn, they be squabbing their asses off. And then they cool the next morning. No getting they pistol and I'ma kill you. Nope, they cool the next morning. And they drinking again. They're doing the same shit again the next night. But yeah, good at Carnival. All that kowtowing, that shit is over with. People are tired of you, Shine. Don't you get it? Your nappy ass head? People are tired of you and your shenanigans. And what's so interesting and fitting is legislation is starting to reflect that. That's what's new. Before, people was just talking shit. Now legislation is reflecting. Oh, Y'all want to do all this bullshit and talk about how you're getting over, and you got $600 full of groceries, about $200 full of crab legs, and you stunting on TikTok and Instagram talking shit about how you didn't have to do nothing to get that shit? Denied. Bye-bye. It's over. It is over. People saw that shit and said, hold my beer. I got something for this. Legislation. $1 trillion cut. My baby's sick. Well, you better put some lard on that shit like them old folks used to do back in the day. All that no insurance running to the damn ER over bullshit, that's about to be over. Ain't no more money. Well, see, people are like, well, what about the kids? What about the motherfucking kids? And I said before, kids, they'll be all right. You know, ain't nobody gonna deny no child up in there. They got 104-degree fever and shit. They temperature 104 damn degrees. Cause all you do is feed them Capri Suns and Hot Pockets and eating Skittles all goddamn day. And they gotta put they are diabetic by the time they hit 13. Ain't nobody gonna turn away no child. It'll be rare. Excuse me. It'll be rare. And see, like I said, what did I tell y'all? The government is kicking that shit down to the states. So if you got an error rate over 5-something%, oh, you know, you're not going to get that much funding from the federal government. You're not going to get that much funding. Look, everything I say, look it up. All these states with these, and see, the error rates are what an error rate in terms of SNAP benefits is how much fraud, basically is how much fraud and waste is going on in these states in terms of the administration and the disbursement of benefits. So if your shit is all jacked up, you know, you got somebody who's been dead since '06 still getting benefits, that affects your error rate in whatever said state. And see, this is what it is. This fraud, waste, and abuse that Trump is relentlessly attacking. Shit like that. People been dead since '06, still getting some type of benefits. All these scams and shit. So, and then you got to get your ass up and go to work if you able-bodied. And they moved the age up. I think it was at 54. Now it's up to like in the 60s. Get off your dead ass and do something. And you got some of these left-leaning woke politicians. Oh gosh, it's always the goddamn extreme with them. You know, he has 2 missing legs. You know, how's he gonna go to work? You know, and now he has to. You know, he's got to justify why he doesn't work. He doesn't. Look, 2 legs. There are stipulations. I tell you, you got to break it down to the syllable for a lot of these stupid. There are already stipulations and accommodations or waivers for people who ain't got 2 fucking legs. I know it is. See, it's always the extreme. Oh, he's blind. No shit, he can't work. He will be fine. So is a dude who ain't got two damn legs. He will be squared away and taken care of. We're talking about these 30-something out here having all these goddamn kids wearing Jordans with edges, you know, riding around, you know, in a 2013 Altima with a cracked fender, blasting that bullshit ass Red and Megan Thee Stallion, car smelling like weed with their kids in the damn car. That's who Trump is going after. And you know what? Those types are the ones who talk the most shit. These men, these young girls with the edges, with the fake hair, always got a pair of J's on, living next to you and I, thanks to Section 8, which I'm about to get into. Hold what you got. Talking shit. Sitting around smoking weed all day, hair whipped, Jordans, getting nutted in, and having bastard ass kids. That's who Trump is going after. And I say, good, do it. No let up. But yeah, and I suspect Section 8 is next, if it isn't already. Why in the world, why in the fuck do you think you have the right to live, and I've painted this picture before, why do you think you have the right, the prerogative, to live next to a family of 3 or 4, wife and kids, and he's busted his ass for the last 5 years to save up $15,000, $20,000, and he's found the right house? Baby, I found us the house. Let's go look. Oh, it's great. We love it. Puts the money down on their dream home, busted his ass. What makes you think you have the right, or what do people think that this person has the right to move your funky ass right next door to that family I just described, and you pay $100 or $86 a month because you got yourself in an irresponsible bind by having some bastard kids, ain't no daddy around, but ding ding, you get rewarded to live right next door to me. And I done put $20,000 down on this home. You ain't did shit but sign some paperwork and get fucked. Now, where's the justice in that? And it happens it happens all over America. And these are nice neighborhoods. Now my kids got to go to school with your raggedy ass, untamed kids. That shit ain't fair. But see, Trump is going to change that shit. No more free ride. And I say attack, attack, attack that shit. No let up. Be living on the outskirts. Be living in the Badlands. Outside the city. And you know, you see movies, you see shit like that, and you be like, damn. You know, all the people you know, they got a little, they can hold their own. They in the cities, and I've talked about that gentrification shit numerous times, and push all you poor people out in the outskirts. But like I said, you know, the people want downtown back. From Boston to damn sure Atlanta, Chicago, all these cities. Tell you niggas gonna be in the forest somewhere. Fuck around. Y'all gonna be out there catching and cooking. Hashtag catch and cook. That's what it's gonna be. But yeah, man, that shit is over. That shit is over. It's like this Essence Festival. Shine's talking about this. And we went there with no American flags there. So now you Shines you want to be American now. Too much jollof rice. Too much curry goat. Where the mac and cheese at? Where the po' boys at? I thought y'all wanted to lead the damn country. I thought America was a white supremacist nation. But now y'all screaming about ain't no American flag. So now you Shines, make up your damn mind, Shine. You want to move to Canada or Rwanda, or you want to stay in America? I know where Painless wants to stay. I want to stay in the greatest country on this earth, the United States of America. Well, my grandfather, where my grandfather fought, and my father fought for this country, and numerous other family members. I trace my, I don't get into that FBA shit, and because look, I know where I come from. My origins are from South Georgia. That is like headquarters. Some of us went on to Florida, some of us went on to Alabama. But we're from South Georgia. So I know, that's really neither here nor there, but I'm just saying, I have any white dude that think, oh, this is my country. This is mine too. And I have paperwork. I got roles that support where I come from. But like I said, that's neither here nor there. The focal point I'm just saying is you Shines, hey man, when your culture is reduced to just food, dance, and bullshit like that, anybody can copy that. When that's all you bring to the table is food, bullshit, and dancing, and fuckery, and tomfoolery, anybody can copy that. The Africans, they have more culture than us. They have protocols. We have bullshit for the most part, as in the so-called black community. Some of us more than others. When you look at the Chinese, they brought philosophy, gunpowder, language. When you think of like the Italians, even they're relatively new people. They had culture, they had art, they had food. You Shines love Italian and Chinese food, don't you? Crab Lagoon, eating all that bullshit at them hood corner Chinese stores. They don't change the damn grease. So, I mean, so-called black American culture is easy to emulate because it ain't really, when you hear all these shots talking about, it's always Well, yeah, we started jazz. So the fuck what? The Chinese invented gunpowder. What the fuck do you stand with that? So see, so when you start talking like that, it's like this is bullshit. And let me tell you something before I close. Don't let these people on this internet see. That's just what it is. Just because they got a gang of subs and views, it's still bullshit coming out their mouth. Painless out.